I'm Ricardo with Vape and Validate, and today we're going to be explaining why these aren't what's getting people sick. So by now, the CDC says there are 450 reported cases of hospitalizations in 33 states due to vaping. And of these, 6 deaths have occurred so far. The problem is, what these people are vaping is getting a little construed, but more on that here in a second. So the vaping industry itself has been around for a little over a decade and has seen huge mainstream popularity since around 2009. With 13 million vapers in the United States alone, accounting for about 43.2% of the world's vaping population, the question is, why haven't we seen anything in over a decade, and why are we only seeing it in the United States? The answer to what's really causing these health issues in people is simple: black market THC cartridges. With the rising popularity of THC cartridges and the lack of availability here in the United States, many people are turning to these black market alternatives, which are cheaper and unfortunately are cut with things such as vitamin E acetate, which is known to cause lung inflammation, or other unknown chemicals. And unfortunately, unsuspecting marijuana users are paying the price.
In the United States, they're still all being investigated, but the common factor is all of these people, young, otherwise healthy people, were vapers. So we say it's safer than cigarettes. What is the problem here?
Look, I think we need to distinguish the process of vaping, which is aerosolizing a liquid into a vapour, from what you're actually using, the drug you're using. If you're doing it with nicotine purchased from an approved supplier, which is regulated or reputable, the risk is very small. What's happening in these cases is that the people using these devices are actually using illicit drugs. And what the FDA has now found is that almost all the cases are linked to inhaled THC or cannabis oil. And the recent outbreak is because there's a different production method of these oils. They're adding vitamin E oil. And when you add oil to an inhaled aerosol, it's very dangerous. We know oil causes a serious lung inflammation, and that seems to be what's happening.
News outlets in the United States would have you believe that it's any vaporizer causing these problems, even though they have proof that it's these counterfeit THC cartridges that is causing these health problems.
DeGrave says it was this vape cartridge that contained THC that took his brother from a healthy 20-something to this.
Within 24 hours, he was being medically sedated and put into a medically induced coma.
DeGrave says his brother bought the vape vials off the street. His warning comes on the same day as doctors at Children's Hospital in Wauwatosa issue a similar alert.
Vaping in teenagers is something that is causing harm to our kids, and we want that message to be loud and clear.
Children's treated 8 patients in just 4 weeks with severe lung damage. All had the common thread of vaping.
My issue with reports like these, where they use the broad term vaping, is that they could seriously deter somebody who is currently smoking and could severely benefit from switching to the healthier alternative of vaping. And yes, the media is finally starting to say that the THC cartridges are what's causing these problems, but unfortunately the damage is done and many people have switched to the vaping is dangerous bandwagon. Even President Trump is proposing a ban on all flavored vape products because, quote, people are dying. Well, what about the 480,000 people that die each year from smoking, the 88,000 that die each year from alcohol, and the 36,000 that die each year from guns? And just to specify, we at Vape and Validate are not anti-gun or anti-alcohol. We are simply going off the numbers because we're anti-hypocrisy. So if you want to say that 6 people dying from vaping is enough to ban the entire industry, then why isn't it the same for all these others that cause way more deaths each year? And even if nicotine vaporizers were the cause of these 450 cases, that is still less than 0.1% of the amount of people that die each year from smoking. And again, that's hospitalizations in over a decade and not deaths per year. And while this is happening in the United States, the United Kingdom is putting vape shops inside of hospitals because they want a smoke-free society, and they know that vaping is a much healthier alternative and it is the most effective way to get people to quit, which we have the statistics for in the video you can watch here. And yes, I'm fully aware some people are going to choose to ignore the information I've said in this video because they feel like we here at Vape and Validate and Vaporized have a bias, but it's quite the contrary. We vape more than most people ever will. And we all switched from smoking to vaping in order to live a healthier lifestyle. And we created this channel and the shop in order to help people get the information they need to also switch to a healthier lifestyle. So we would love to know if there are any issues with vaporizers, so therefore we don't cause any more problems to ourselves or others. But studies have shown time and time again that vaping is at least 95% safer than traditional tobacco smoking, and is almost twice as effective in helping people quit cigarettes, the nicotine patches, and nicotine gum. All this is proving to us is that the government finally needs to legalize marijuana so they can regulate products like these out of existence, and instead make a greater quality product more widely available instead of driving up the demand for counterfeits such as these cartridges that are causing problems to people, and not go after a healthier alternative to smoking which has no involvement with these THC cartridges. So now we're asking for your help to save an industry that has literally saved millions of lives. Call the White House using the number right here and let your voice be heard. Tell them that you're against this outrageous flavor ban, and please share as much information as possible to get rid of the false information that's been floating around. That's all we got for you guys today. As always, if you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments down below or email us at vapeandvalidate@gmail.com, and you might just see me in a future video. But if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit like, and make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our content to help you make decisions towards a better vaping lifestyle. I'm Ricardo with Vape and Validate. We'll see you next time.